Donald Trump is weighing in on New York issues from the White House. We look into the impact and what this means for Long Island. Now available at Newsday.com. Sarra Sounds Off is brought to you by Roll Up Awnings.
Hi, Greg Sarra here on location in Bellport at 365 Athletics, Infinity Sports Performance. We are on the road. We're out to see Jayden Stroman, the phenomenal baseball player at Patchogue-Medford High School. He's here with us now. Jayden, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
You know, this is exciting. You came home this year. It's been a long journey through high school. Started your high school career at the Stony Brook School. Bounced over to IMG in Florida. Had a great experience there. And now you're home for your senior year. Take us through the journey, like how it started and what you've learned along the way.
Yeah, COVID year, obviously went to Stony Brook looking for better academics, number one. Of course, Stony Brook's one of the best academic prep boarding schools in New York, so went over there for the 3 years. Great experience, obviously, and even growing as a person with all the time management skills, being a sleepaway school, of course. All the things you take for granted that mom and dad do are no longer there. Those are removed from the situation. So, and then even more so on the fact, going over to IMG, stepping into a bigger pond, of course, never afraid of competition, so went there. And then even more to the extent of now I'm really by myself, where Stony Brook I was coming home Saturday, Sunday, of course, being 30 minutes away from Medford, but now I was all the way down in Florida. So, being sick, everything, you're really, truly taking care of yourself.
Take me through some of those responsibilities and how you learned about accountability.
Yeah, of course. Schoolwork always comes first. Always got to make time for that in your day. Obviously, at both ways, IMG at Stony Brook School was always in the morning, so it's class from say 8 a.m. to around noon, and then, just being able to manage all forms of it, and then going to lift after practice or before practice, you have a very small time window, and then get back to the room, and it's instead of I want to go to sleep, you got to do homework or do something else to prepare for the next day.
How important was it for you to spend your senior year in your hometown and with your parents?
Being away for 5 years, it's not something you wish upon anybody. All the home experiences I missed, being away from mom and dad, mom's cooking, being able to work out with dad and all that. So that was something that I didn't have, but being able to come home for the last year, on my journey, wherever my path may take me come July, but I'm really going to be out of the house for sure this time, and there is no coming back. So, want to be able to get back home, get back to the roots, and be able to cherish the last year I got home with my family and friends.
You look at the regimen that you're on. If you were giving advice to young athletes, how important it is for you or for them to train properly?
Yeah. Of course, obviously always being careful. Never want to get hurt under a bar in the weight room, of course. That's priority number one. It's something that's supposed to benefit you, not harm you. Getting with the right people, of course. People that not only know you, but know you as a person too. To be able to feel out your work ethic too, it's got to be a two-sided street. Can't be where they're just giving you stuff, you're not reciprocating it to them. And obviously understanding what you're doing. If you have no understanding for what you're doing, then there's no blueprint. It's like trying to build a car with no instructions. It's not going to go anywhere. So, just getting on the right program, eating the right meals, all of it, you just got to stay on top of it.
You really know how to treat your body. How important is that for all athletes to know what they need in their training?
It's something that you need to learn for yourself and what you respond well to. Obviously some people eat more than others. For me, obviously I like to supplement some meals with shakes because I know I don't have the time and luxury to be able to sit there and eat, or I'm going to feel slow doing something afterwards. So, it's just learning what you have to do, of course, and day-to-day stuff.
Is it tough when you've put yourself in a position to be drafted this June, but you've also got a full scholarship to Duke to play Division I baseball in the ACC? Is it difficult sometimes when you're playing other teams and because you're a known entity that there's a lot of chirping, or do you kind of love that and expect that?
Yeah, not at all. Honestly, I think it makes the game more fun. Sometimes the umpires may back it down a little bit, but I feel like both teams always enjoy when it gets a little bit rowdy. It makes it more interesting for both sides. And for me, too, it gives me a little bit, extra fuel to the fire, to prove people right, to give them what they're there to see. So
you haven't really pitched a lot in your life. You've been known as a great switch hitter, as an offensive threat, but where did this come from with this pitching? You've touched 97, 98 on the mound, and you have upwards of 20 scouts at all your games and all that attention. When did that start with the pitching?
Well, obviously coming home, I wanted to throw, especially for Duke. They got me for both, so talked to Coach Favs, was able to work it out where I'd be the third day starter, be able to play a position the first 2 days. And that was the idea going into the winter regiment too. I started long tossing a lot earlier than I normally would, and then spacing out my workouts, of course, to where I could be able to come back and pitch. And it wasn't easy, obviously. getting back into the flow of things, being able to get down the mound. But, with the work comes results. And I feel like so far I've been able to prosper from what I did.
You run a 6'3" plus on the baseball field, which gives Duke and professional baseball scouts other options that you can transition from the infield to the outfield. You can play shortstop, you can play third, you can be in center field. What's your preference, like to be in the infield or the outfield, or it doesn't matter as long as you're in the game?
As long as I'm in the game, of course, whatever my team needs. Obviously, I'm going to try to stick up the middle, of course, to be able to produce as much as I can with what I got. But, if they need me to play first, I'll be a first. Need me to play right, I'll be a right. I mean, obviously not behind the dish. That's the only spot. But other than that, if you need me, I'm there.
So you look at your career, and this is the one void, the one area that you never got the opportunity to be the man. Baseball is a game of failure. It's a tough game.
Yeah.
And everybody strikes out. Everybody makes an error. Nobody's perfect. How does Jayden Stroman deal with that? Especially the pressure and the expectations. Every time you get up, everybody's eyes are on you.
Yeah.
They want to see you hit the ball hard or hit the ball out. How do you deal with that if you had a bad game? How do you bounce?
Well, I'm gonna first say I feel like the person that puts the most pressure would be myself. To an extent, if I were to come on here and say I'm the best dealing with failure, I'm lying. I feel like anybody who says that would be lying, honestly. Everybody knows it's not always the easiest to have a bad day in baseball because it's something you work so hard for, you put so much time into, you want results. But I feel like it's more in the aspect of always focusing on the positives first, on what you did on the day. And then it's coming back and looking at the negatives, not in the aspect of, beating yourself down, but more in the aspect of what I can do to get better. I always like to frame it as, in your bad days, you say, what did I do different from today that caused me to get this result? Keep flipping the pages of the book, never taking a step back.
Everywhere you turn, there's Marcus Stroman, your older brother, who's had a fantastic 10-year Major League career when he was told he probably wouldn't make it because he wasn't big enough.
Yeah.
And you have the physical attributes. Marcus, 5'7.5", maybe 5'8", but do you know anybody who has Marcus Stroman's heart?
I mean, I feel like the only person you can maybe match that would be Dad, because I feel like he's the one who put it there, obviously, in both of us. But, a lot of people like to look at the outside view of just how his performance is in baseball. But, 10-league career is not something that everybody does, of course. A lot of guys are 1 up, 1 down, 2 up, 2 down, in and out between majors and minors, and some never even making it to the majors. So I feel like a lot of people overlook the work aspect of it and what he's been able to achieve in his 10-year career. To sit from a chair when he's going to be done, be able to say he played a 10-year veteran career, not a lot of people could say that. So I feel like that speaks levels.
He, to me, has been the symbol of a guy that can persevere, that can go out and show people.
Yeah.
You have a different chip. Your way of looking at it, your motivation, what inspires you is, yeah, I have a brother that was a great baseball player that's a major leaguer, but I'm Jayden. And you've always said that to me. You said, we're different in that way. But I love him, and he treats me as good as any brother could treat a brother. And I know you feel that way.
I mean, absolutely. He always takes care of me. He's always texting me. I text him after outings, before outings, both ways, if I'm starting, if he's starting. And then always the brother-brother conversation first. It's keeping baseball second whenever we're together.
It's like a built-in mentor right in the family.
Correct.
It's fantastic. Well, listen, good luck the rest of the way. You've had a great start to your senior year. Patchogue-Medford is playoff bound. You have some tough games coming up. You have Longwood. They're a great baseball team. And we'll see you in the playoffs.
Sounds great.
Great job. So it was a special weekend for the National Football Foundation. They honored the top scholar athletes from Suffolk County, for the Suffolk County chapter, and from the Catholic High School Football League. What a great day at the Melville Marriott. 500 plus people on a Sunday morning. Congratulations to the 2 Greg Sarra Trophy Award winners. Joseph Flaherty from Half Hollow Hills West, the Offensive Player of the Year. How about he had 14,483 all-purpose yards in his varsity football career. Now he's heading to Syracuse, where he's going to play football and men's lacrosse. And the same thing for Mikey Sands. I was blown away by his statistics, but more about the person. Mikey Sands of Sayville, linebacker, who won the Defensive Player of the Year. Here's a kid who his entire life has been devoted to his family and his younger brother, Sammy. And he won one of the biggest awards of the day, the Brian Collins Memorial Scholarship Fund. $10,000 the family gives to the winner of that award, and that's spectacular. Super happy for Xavier Ali from Whitman, just a tremendous linebacker who's going to do great things in college. He was the top scholar athlete for Suffolk County. And then in the Catholic League, William Hanley, who's headed to Lafayette, another fantastic student athlete. But my favorite moment, without a doubt, it might have been my favorite moment of the last decade, was when I had the opportunity to introduce two of the Copeg football players. These are two guys who are seniors, Cody Tieringer and Fabrice Cormier. They had stuck it out on the varsity team at Copeg football for the past 4 years. They were in the middle of a 42-game losing streak, and when they were called and they came up to get their plaques, the entire room exploded in the Melville Marriott. They got a standing ovation, and they teach everybody that perseverance lesson that you just got to put in all your effort and you got to stick to it. I loved it. I'm Greg Sarra for Newsday Sports. Thanks for joining us.